hectic.
Okay, well, Dr. Mativo, I guess we should go ahead and get started if that's okay with you. All right, so we wanted to start by introducing our team before we start the presentation. So you know me already. I'm Brian Fredricks. I'm the one that you've been emailing. I reached out, last month, and you've been very helpful responding to my emails. Thank you very much. We've been able to look at the UGA Motorsports and really start our analysis summary as a team. That's it for me.
I'm Ashlyn Bennett. Nice to meet you.
I am Hope Robinson.
I'm Lehong in this team. Nice to meet you, Dr. Mathieu.
I'm Apita Waters. Hello.
I'm Harper Seymour. For this analysis, I worked on gathering resources that we needed to come up with our plans that we're going to present shortly. And I've also been in contact with some of your team leaders, and I was grateful to receive a response from Seth Keebler. And we plan to use his input in the future. While we have decided not to offer an option of a flowchart as previously requested, I think you will find our two options to be an even more efficient way to equip your team members to communicate better, and will close that performance gap or deficit, if you will, that you were hoping to achieve with the flowchart.
Sounds good. Thanks for taking up the project. I look forward to seeing what you have in mind. Now, is it Apita? Do you have a dog, a black dog?
No? I have a gray cat.
Okay. Because I have one too.
Oh, okay. No, my cat's currently outside. I literally let her out like the moment I walked in the door so she wouldn't bother the presentation. So now I have a cat.
It's nice that you're able to contact Seth and he gave you some information. Okay, that's good.
Yes, it was very helpful. I know my wife used to have 5 dogs, and they're down to 3 from giving them away. So do you have any other questions, Dr. Mativo, about the analysis summary before we start the slideshow?
I've not seen any analysis. Did you send anything to me?
Oh no, I was just wondering if you had anything on your mind before we just got started. I didn't want to be rude and just dive right in.
No, I just said thank you for your team for taking up this project.
Thank you.
We hope we can use it to implement in our management. The one thing I forgot to ask you to do was, how would an advisory board fit into all this? So well, that's one thing I forgot to ask. But anyway, if you have time, you can think about it.
Of course. Well, we'll go ahead and get started with the PowerPoint here, and then hopefully we can answer all your questions.
Hello, Dr. Mativo and UGA Motorsports. Our team is presenting to you today to assist in organizing your different teams in order to design division-oriented vehicles through better communication and collaboration. We are the UGA Motorsports Management Team, and I am Brian Fredricks, the Team Project Manager. The UGA Motorsports Management Team is an independent instructional design agency dedicated to bringing the training objectives of our clients to actionable and tangible outcomes. The multidisciplinary backgrounds of our designers offer a holistic range of expertise that, when combined, will create a product unique to your private or public sector business. The UGA Motorsports Management Team has its headquarters in the Atlanta area, but services clients in all industries, local and remote. In the UGA Motorsports Management Team, we use the ADDIE model to train in smaller, actionable steps using constructivism. ADDIE, or ADDIE, is a 5-stage model: analyze, design, develop, implement, and evaluate. Each stage produces a report which supports the next step and includes opportunities to gather feedback, which helps develop further training. ADDIE is flexible and helps ensure learning is authentic and catered to students. Our program will be a seminar on effective and professional collaboration and communication in order to achieve organizational goals based on competitions. Members will need the skills when they graduate and get jobs in the real world. The seminar will require a collaborative team approach, Zoom, and Google Drive. The goal of our program is to train skills such as collaboration and communication, equip clients with effective instructional materials and strategies, and empower clients with skills which can be used in the real world, like motorsports, competitions, and future careers.
Okay, and our purpose is to design division-oriented vehicles through better communication and collaboration.
Before we come up with this purpose, we first conducted the performance assessment. In our work, we found that there are mainly 3 performance gaps that we found. The first one is students in the UGA Motorsports organization cannot effectively work in collaborative groups. And the second gap is that they cannot effectively collaborate across divisions with teams, with members from other teams. And the last gap is that the students in the UGA Motorsports organization do not have an effective and efficient communication system for them to disseminate the important information across the organization. So based on those gaps, we think for our design, the purpose is help the team, the organization, the members to have better communication and collaboration within and across organization. Thank you, Dr. Mathieu.
So we have 2 proposed options for our collaboration and team building sessions. They're going to contain the same content. They're just going to be delivered in 2 different formats. So option A would be our communication and collaboration training session that would be offered in person. We would have this session to help build effective and professional communication skills across your divisions, as well as within their divisions with one another. It would focus on team building, and all of the instructional materials would be housed in a Google shared drive, which all UGA students have free access to. And we would also use professional collaboration apps such as GroupMe, Slack, Microsoft Teams, etc. That first option here puts us at a total of $2,600. $2,000 of the dollars would be used to actually employ the collaborative coach for 8 hours at $250 each, and then to reserve the Tate Student Hall for $600. So that is our option A. Option B, again, the content would be the same, but this time we would do it over Zoom. Again, the same instructional materials, but Zoom kind of gives you the advantages of being able to safely have all of your members in one place. So for appropriate protocols for COVID and social distancing, but also just it could be better to work together with that large of a group of people. Again, all of your instructional materials will be housed in Google Drive, and the option B total comes out to $3,800. Basically, as well.
So the key resources that we're going to need to deliver this to you and your students would be access to Zoom. We chose to use Tate's Grand Hall to meet. And then we also really need your leaders for team building to be on board with this. And I would like to incorporate your advisory board as well into that. But communication starts from the top. And so we reached out to your team leaders, and we think that their participation is key to this, to the effectiveness of this program.
We will now present to you our tentative project management plan. The design portion of our ADDIE process will begin January 10th and will take about 2 weeks. Therefore, we will be finished by January 31st. The development portion of this project will begin on February 1st and we will finish by February the 7th. The implementation phase of this project will begin on February 8th and will finish February the 12th. The evaluation phase of this project will begin February 15th and will finish on February 20th.
And this is entirely up to you, Dr. Motivo, but if you wanted to see a sample of what our implementation for our seminar would look like, you can take a look. So this is the learner identification. Did you want us to move on, or do you want to take a more in-depth look at the sample we have?
You may move on.
Of course. Okay, and we have the endorsements page that you sent me, Dr. Motivo. It looks like you said that you reviewed the enclosed analysis summary of the design and development of the chart and communication and collaboration seminar. You reviewed the proposed delivery methods and decided on cost option A as being appropriate for our motorsports team at the University of Georgia. You approved of that option. And we want to thank you very much for your time. Now, of course, we have a Q&A session now where you can ask any questions. And Apita was designated as the representative who's going to answer any questions you have. But of course, the entire team is available.
Dr. Motivo, yeah, so I decided to do questions. And so at this point, if you're thinking anything or, have any concerns, and I would love to address them. And of course, like you said, the team is here.
Back to the very beginning about the flow chart, and was it difficult to come up with one, or how come that was not designed?
Yeah, we understand. Here, Bryce, you don't have to switch it to the thing. We could just, stop sharing screens. So since the flow chart was the original option A, we sent that to Dr. Branch, and we also kind of reviewed it ourselves, and we need to have an instructional component with it in order for us to be successful. And so we were given feedback that the flow chart just didn't have that instructional component in it, and so we needed to do something that did. And so we felt like developing the communication and the collaboration models aligned more with our vision, and I feel like we kind of felt like it would be more successful because when the divisions are communicating, they're kind of giving each other that shared knowledge. So that would be my response to that question, unless my other teammates have something they wanted to add or if they noticed anything.
I'll jump in. We can certainly implement a flow chart when we present this. It's just going to be an all-day event that we're proposing to you, to all your team members. The flow chart could definitely be a part of that instruction, but we had to build a more instructional model for the purpose of our class, if that makes sense.
Sounds good.
Thank you for being understanding about that.
Yeah. So the instructional components, the different stages, you said that you may use Zoom or you may use Tate Center and then have people for a day, for X number of hours. So that's the management idea you're giving me to pay so that we can have that. I know it could be hypothetical, but would that be in real sense, like, okay, here is our proposal. Option A, option B, pick one, and then you'll come and implement it.
Yes, I think essentially I believe for the purposes like of this course, like we're gonna like develop the materials for you and like give you the plan, and then you are supposed to implement it and launch it of your own fruition. But we would, give you all the information, give you like the scheduling and all that for you.
Would there be an assurance that it will work? Because if it doesn't and I've spent the money, what happens?
That I do not have the answer to. So I think, the flowchart will be able to, you can kind of get in there. And we also kind of felt like collaboration and communication are skills. Like these are all college students and they need these skills to be successful in the real world anyways. And so we think UGA Motorsports is just kind of an extension of that. But of course I can't promise a guarantee, but someone else can, chime in here.
Well, that's an excellent question. I mean, how do you know if you're going to receive results? And our team does have a track record, we have implemented before and the training was effective. And of course, we are using professional collaboration apps and websites, Google Drive, Microsoft Teams, GroupMe. These are things we have experience with. And a lot of students, especially at UGA, they have experience with those things already. So we're just trying to get more in depth on how to use those things. So you can see the results as we're in the training. You can actually walk around and see them implementing technology and collaborating better literally during the seminar.
Would this be a one-time thing? Because let's assume that it works for those that are currently here and they're going to graduate. These students, come and go. Would it require that we have, such a training every year, or how would that work?
I think that would need to be up to you and something that you would need to go back with or we can communicate with your advisory board about that. I think that's something that's a divisional decision that you guys need to make. I think, if we were to incorporate the advisory board in it, we can get more of a feel of the, of kind of what their objectives are as well.
Yeah, the students are going to be learning this from us. And of course, there are leaders in the organization in UGA Motorsports who could take over and kind of train, the rest of the students. So perhaps in a year, you still have people who know all about it, who are training the trainers. But maybe every 2 or 3 years, obviously, depending on what your organization decides on, every 2 or 3 years, we could do a refresher, but one time might be all we need to do. Because once the students have those resources, they can help each other. You don't go to college 1 year and leave. You're back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and they can help each other.
Yeah, so I'm going back to a flow chart because a flow chart shows direction on how this communication would come together, even if it's an educational component. Communication happens with layers of need to know basis. So even though it is an educational component, I would still find a way, maybe you can advise me on who can help create such, because it will need to be, it's important for management to know the flow of authority and also, who does what and who reports to who. So part of my education from you is to know how to do that.
Yes, and we respect that. We understand that, that your initial proposal was a flow chart. So I think, that's going to require our team to kind of go back to the drawing board and see what we need to do and what our best options are here before we can continue to go forward with your flow chart. So yeah, we definitely respect that in your decision.
If I may interrupt, I was impressed on how you were able to determine the 3 items that needed attention. I think Lehong, she mentioned those 3. And I think from there you can create something, there's no communication here, there's no communication here, there's no communication here. So what needs to be done, that is, how would you educate me to help me to make sure that that communication at least is there, starts, and is maintained, you know, and not only just in maintenance phase, but it's effective. You know, the educational component, I'm 100% receptive to that. Yes. The management portion, half, you know, because without knowing where to go for what, it's still chaos. So, I mean, what you've done is great. I'm not saying that what you've done, you get an A for that. But in my mind, I'm debating it. You're the brains I can debate with now. You know, your firm is experienced. Your firm has the, you know how you've done many things, many projects for other people. So that's the help I need as well, in addition to what you've provided.
Okay, so I'm definitely hearing you. I think like going forward, it would be great if we could like, you know, get in contact with your team leads and meet with them, and then kind of, because I agree with Lehong, kind of pin down her 3 things of the problems. They were like really great. So I think
Those are great.
going forward, like I think it would be great if we could meet with your team leads and develop some sort of rapport with them, and then that will kind of help us, I think, give us a better frame, because as much as research as we've tried to do, I will be like candid, it's been really difficult for us to try to develop the communication and collaboration modules if we truly don't really have that rapport with the team leads. So I think we would definitely like to meet with them and then, you know, kind of develop a strategy from there.
Hey, Brian, can you pull up the ADDIE model to show Dr. Mativo again? Dr. Mativo, I just wanted to point out that this presentation is the analysis phase of what we are going to create. This is just the very first part. And I do think that there's a way for us in the design and the develop phase to come up with a flow chart that I think that you would like.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that there's a need for us to go back and find ways to use a flip chart and do our collaboration and communication modules.
Brian, did I send you a copy of the organization that we have and with a chart? If not, I can do that.
Well, I would love if you could send it again. You know, just
Okay.
to make sure.
Maybe I never did, but I could send it to you and show you
Yeah.
what type of organization is right now. We have a system. It works, but it is cumbersome. It works, but it's cumbersome. But I like to, maybe I'll share it, not maybe, I should share it with you. And then all of you take a look at it. And then maybe you say, this can be streamlined in this way or that way. You know, because I let my students do everything. It is a club, and I just want them to exercise the fullest attention. If I want to run it my way, I know how I will do it, but I need input so that we can present it to the students. I had talked to Seth a long time ago when you contacted me. And so I told him there's a group looking at the management issue. So when I get a report, I'll share it with him. But if you talk with him, that's fine. You know, just get as many of the team leads as you'd like to and talk with them. That's fine with me. So I'll send you, and you can share with the rest of your team, the type of chart we're using right now.
Great. Thank you very much.
So, but do you have time though? I mean, if you don't have time, don't worry about it, because semester is almost over. You have other things to do. You have other things to do next. So you don't have to worry about it. This is great. I'll take this and move on. But still, I'll go ahead and send you what I said I will, so you can have a look just for reference.
We certainly will try to do as much as possible before the end of the semester.
Yeah, but don't
Absolutely.
kill yourselves over this. What you've done, you've put quite some effort in this. It's a good product, and we certainly will be. I'll share it with the rest of the UGA Motorsports, and I think you'll come out okay. But I'll go ahead and send you what I said I will. If you have time, look at it. If you don't worry about it.
Thank you. That was wonderful feedback. I appreciate that. We can definitely take this and we can have more meetings as a group and we can move forward now.
Okay. Well, thanks for the presentation.